Hello everyone, my name is Michael and welcome back to Sovereign Thinking. So if you haven't already done so, feel free to watch parts 5 and 6 of my Law of Attraction series, as today I will be guiding you on some journaling activities based around those sections of my read-through. In this exercise, we are directly building upon the last journal activity I guided you on, so you will need to watch that one at least before this one that I am presenting today. I have left a link to the previous journaling activity in the description box for your convenience. And if you don't have a journal, I don't want you to worry about that at all. You can still participate by using a paper or something to write on, as well as a pen or a pencil, and you can do this exercise anytime you'd like. As always, please remember to only take what vibes with you and leave what doesn't. So let's begin. Up until this point, we have been approaching our journaling activities very pragmatically and intellectually. Now we are going to be bringing some emotions into the fold. Remember the 6 sections in your journal that you wrote down your contrast statements and then transmuted those into desire statements? Well, I want you to look at those again, except this time, I want you to listen to yourself and how you feel about each of these statements. Not what you think about each of those statements, but how you feel. In Michael Losier's book, he mentions that any negative vibes about a desire statement or any doubt surrounding each of those desire statements makes it into a negative statement or at least cancels it out. Again, until now, we have really only been using our heads when doing these activities. Now we have to bring our emotions into the fold and see how we authentically feel about each statement. If there is a transmuted desire statement that you don't believe in or have any doubts or feel any negative emotions about, highlight it or make a mark beside the statement. At this time, you may pause this video and return once you have marked anything you feel negatively about from the last exercise. Even though you may have originally thought that these desire statements that we worked on last week were intellectually correct, if you don't believe in them, then you're not actually allowing those desires to manifest. And by marking the desire statements that you feel a negative emotion about, you're just cleaning up and refining your statement. I have left some desire statement prefixes on screen that you can use to help transmute your desire statements into desire statements that you now believe in. Of course, there is another prefix that you prefer to use that you know of, then go for it. So long as it vibes positively for you, feel free to use it for yourself. And if you think that a prefix that you came up with can help someone else, then please leave a comment if you'd like. At this time, you may pause the video to rewrite the desire statements that had a negative emotion or vibe attached to them, and then we will move on to another exercise. Again, I have left on screen some prefixes for you to use. In part 6, Michael Losier introduced us to the idea of limiting beliefs. In today's journaling exercise, you're going to build some awareness surrounding your own limiting beliefs. Michael Losier describes that an easy way to identify your limiting beliefs is to see when you use the word because. For example, if you see yourself thinking something like, "I would love to start my own business, but I can't because I don't have any good ideas and a business degree." Notice how the word because was used and what followed after. This is a limiting belief where the individual believes that they don't have good ideas to turn into a business or a business degree to start it. Another way to tell if a limiting belief is at play is if you had trouble transmuting your desire statements into desire statements that you actually believe. If you struggled a little with the last activity in this video, revisit those statements and really sit in the doubt for a moment so that you can ask yourself why you are struggling to transmute it into something that you do believe. It is likely that there is a limiting self-belief that is at play here. My next set of instruction is simple. On a new page, write down any reasons why you cannot achieve what you desire. Although I recommend just writing down one sentence to keep it simple, if you need to take this time to purge some negativity, then I say just go for it. Just keep in mind that in next week's journal activity, we will be transmuting those limiting self-beliefs. Furthermore, I would like to invite you to observe how your limiting self-beliefs show up in your everyday life until we transmute them for next week. I would like for you to really understand your limiting self-beliefs and how it affects the way you think, behave, and feel. And of course, you can journal down any observations you make. At this time, you may pause this video to write down your limiting self-beliefs. Just kindly unpause it when you're ready to close out. If your journal looks messy, don't worry about it. It happens to the best of us, and sometimes to clean up and call in our desires, we have to get a little messy first. At this time, you will not be transmuting your limiting self-beliefs as I mentioned before, as I will instruct you to do that next week. However, what I want you to do is I want you to take some time to sit with these limiting self-beliefs. By being patient with yourself and taking time to really get a grasp of what limiting self-beliefs are preventing you from moving forward, you may even uncover some more or learn more about yourself. When those enlightenments show up during your week, just write those revelations out in your journal. Again, get messy with your journal if you need to. That's what it's there for. Also, by writing down those revelations on paper, you're now bringing something deep within you to the surface where you have more power and sovereignty to deal with it directly. I do have some more shadow work videos that work directly with some limiting self-beliefs, so if you feel called to do so, you may watch those if you get the chance to. But what you have done today is good enough for now. Next week, we are going to review some more allowing tools. It is a very important part of Michael Losier's Law of Attraction book because I feel like those additional tools are incredibly underrated and most importantly to use for yourself. I get the feeling that people think the additional tools are optional, but I personally think that they should be mandatory when it comes to allowing your desires to manifest, or at least most of them should be mandatory. Again, if you would like to read the book yourself, I have left an Amazon link to the book in the description box if you wanted to pick it up. And like I mentioned before, please just take what vibes with you, leave what doesn't, and just take it one day at a time. Thank you again for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful day.